Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of A Gardener's Journey Homestead. I'm Barbara. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. It is cold today, but it's warm in the greenhouse. It's about 40 degrees outside, but it's 84 in here. So literally, it feels cozy. So cozy. So as you know, in the wintertime, there's just not much that you can do, or much there is to do in the high tunnel and outside. One is just so cold, and two, it's just much more low maintenance than it is in the summer. But today I'm gonna come in here and water really good, because they haven't been watered since probably about 5 or 6 days, so almost a week. It's just been severely rainy, and I think I told you in my last video, it literally rained for like 14 days straight, monsoon type rains. And so we've had sunshine the past 3 days, I think, but temperatures have been like in the 40s. So it's nice and warm in the tunnel. So I thought I would water and also kind of show you around and do like an end of the December garden tour, as well as almost like, yeah, end of the year really. So I'll show you around and show you how things are looking. And then we have some really cold weather coming at the end of this week that I'll talk about a little bit, and I'll probably do some content later on this week where I'm showing you how we're going to get ready for that, especially in the high tunnel. I'm in zone 7A, which is in I'm in Tennessee, so if you're in that area, then you know all about what I'm talking about. But if you're not in that area, I wonder what the weather is like in, as Al Roker says, in your neck of the woods. So we're gonna I think what I'm gonna do is let's walk around first and see how things are going, and then we'll do some water and some fertilization. Okay, you can see that this first bed here is looking pretty good. And this bed is kale. I actually harvested some kale on yesterday. You can see that it's, you know, that's not it breaking off. That's just me. I had harvested some kale really quickly. But this bed overall looks good. You got the kale. You have the lettuce that is still doing fantastic. There's the Merlot. And in the back, you have the eucalyptus. And then you have some spinach. So this bed overall is looking good. Here is the mint. It is still hanging on, and I keep saying this, I need to dry. I need to harvest this mint. So I need to do that. But y'all, look over here. My broccoli has bolted. Look at all those yellow flowers. I showed you this on one other video where it was starting to, but it really is. Okay, and now I can understand, because it's 80 degrees in here today, but when I showed you the first time, it had not been that high of a temperature in here that I'm aware of. But this one has bolted. Here you can see the yellow flower, so that's done. It's not going to do anything else. I wonder if I could harvest the side shoots there. But like this one hasn't bolted. It's still doing a-okay. This one has yellow flowers, so it's not good. This one seems to be okay, and then the rest of these seem to be okay. So yeah, I'm not sure how I managed that. Let's go right here. You can see this is the carrot bed, and then the lettuce has gone coming back, which is good. You see my cilantro. You can see the cilantro right there beside or behind the Merlot. And then look at all the carrots. I thought I would test to see how my carrots were doing, and they're still not ready. You can see here. Now, they're definitely really tiny because I have thinned and thinned, but they are still like heavily packed. So I must have really planted way too many seeds. But you can tell the carrots are there, but they're not big. And I just would have thought, I need to go back and look and see the maturity, but I thought carrots were around 80, 90-day maturity. And I want to say I planted this is the first batch that I planted, which is why I tested that one and not some of the others. I thought I did this in September, and that's like 3 months almost. But they're not any further along than this. Now, all of these was literally in one little swoop. So you can tell, again, they're heavily, if you can thin out your carrots, and again, if it hasn't gotten too late in the game, I definitely recommend that you thin out your carrots. That's how you're going to get bigger carrots. And I have thinned this at least 3 times, but it's still like heavily packed, and you can see they're not ready yet. So that's a bummer. Maybe 30 more days and they'll be ready and good to go, so that at least they're, you know, somewhat of a decent size. This bed, remember, this is where the cauliflower was that we harvested on last week, so all of that's empty. I'm going to fill this in with probably more lettuce and maybe broccoli, and if I can find a shorter maturity cauliflower, I'll plant some more cauliflower, but I just haven't looked. But I'm going to do I'm going to start more seeds after the first of the year. This is more broccoli. You can see it hasn't headed up at all. It looks pretty good. Remember, I showed you this last one. This is where the bugs had gotten it. But now that it's so cold, the bugs seem to be gone and the leaves look okay. So it's a difference in what the weather does. This one has headed up a little bit there. And we'll see how that goes. And the lettuce, the romaine lettuce, is looking good. This bed here is where I planted the kale in the first 2 rows, and then the last row on the right is Swiss chard. Moving slow. The kale is coming up slowly but surely. My flowers are not making it as much, but that's okay. My Dusty Miller is hanging on. And then this bed here, that's baby kale on the left there. That's coming up. I say baby kale because I just kind of broadcast those seeds. I didn't plant them individually or do transplants like I did over here, so I can just pick that as baby greens. There is a broccoli there that's heading up. I really hope I get some broccoli, y'all. Carrots, more broccoli headed up, and see, like, this looks good. There's the broccoli. It looks good. And then our radishes are looking good as well. Okay, here's the herb. You can see that there. The pansies are doing well. The oregano, the eucalyptus, and then the rosemary. And then here's green row, all the greens. So they are doing good. I'm going to harvest these later on this week before the frigid weather comes. This row, I harvested kale from here as well yesterday, so it's a little bare, but it'll grow back. And then as we walk down here, you can see how the greens are coming along. So this row is better. This row needs to catch up and pick up the pace. They're still moving slow and small. These are trying to get on up there a little bit, but still need some more growth. And these are the latest ones that I planted. So I'm hoping today when I fertilize and water, that'll give us some help. You can see the beets coming up. I need to most of this, no, I said that those were the latest carrots on the other side, but these are the latest, not carrots, but collard greens. You can see those that I planted. Like I said, you can tell that I need to water. So give them some water. Look at our cabbage. Y'all, it's so amazing how last week we were talking about pest damage and I don't see any pests today. I guess because it's been so cold, and for that I am grateful. So that looks good. All of these look good. So I'm hoping that they hang on with the weather. I'm starting to get some Brussels on my Brussels sprouts. You can barely see them. May have to wait till they get a little bigger. The tatsoi looks good. Let's see if we can find some Brussels on this one. Yep, you can kind of see them. You see that there? The little Brussels are forming, which is good. I like Brussels sprouts. And then we have some more open space down here that we can do something with. So like I said, I'm going to plant more seeds or start more seeds after the first of the year. I have too much going on between now and then. But after the first of the year, we'll plant some more seeds. And then this very last bed here, it looks good as well. The alyssum and the calendula. So you can see how things are kind of progressing. Overall, good. So this is the last week of, no, the third week of December. So overall, things are looking good. I'm still saying the same thing. Things are looking good. Some stuff is moving slow. But I'm going to fertilize and water today and hope that that kind of gives it a boost. And then let's talk about what's coming this week in my area. So again, we have pretty mild winters. We get snow maybe 2 or 3 times in the winter. And that's stretching it. I mean, one, definitely. And when we're talking about snow, we're talking like 2-3 inches of snow. It's not anything major, especially compared to those in northern climates. So we have mild winters. When I looked at the 10-day forecast, we're going to have right now at least 4 days of way below freezing temperatures. Like the low is going to be 8, 10, 7, and like a 12, which is really unheard of in this area, especially consecutive. There may be one day out of the winter that it gets to like, I don't know, 15 degrees or something like that. But single digits, I don't know that I've seen it. At least I haven't seen it in a while. And especially not consecutive. So that's way, way, way below freezing. And so I'm a little concerned about the stuff in the tunnel. Because I think that's even cold for that. Everything, as I've been reading and researching, a lot of things are good up into 22 degrees. I think the kale and the the kale and the carrots should be fine. Based on what I've read, they can do way below the 22 degrees. But I am concerned about the broccoli and the cabbage and even the collard greens, like 8 degrees. And I think if it was just one night, it would be okay. But because it's forecasted to be consecutive nights, way below 4 nights below 15 degrees, I'm wondering, what can I do to help my stuff survive, and is there a chance for it to survive? If you guys have experienced this and you have a high tunnel that's not heated, let me know. Now, I have the capability of heating my high tunnel. I just haven't gotten it done, and of course now I'm kicking myself because it would really come in handy right about now. But that's neither here nor there. I don't know that we can get it put in the next 3 to 4 days before this drop in temperature hits. I am going to cover some of my things with fleece and row cover in the tunnel, which I have never, ever, ever done before. Because, again, the tunnel is kind of protected. So even when it's been, 20-something degrees at night, I haven't had any issues in here. So, yeah. And, again, the temperature, especially in the daytime, can swing a lot. Meaning it's 40 degrees outside right now, but it's 80-something degrees in the tunnel. But it being 8 degrees at night, I don't know if it's going to swing enough to where it's like 25. I don't think it will. So I'm a little concerned. So I am going to harvest what I can later on this week. I'm watering today and fertilizing some of this. And hopefully fertilizing the other half tomorrow. And then I'll probably harvest on Tuesday or Wednesday. And then before the frigid comes, and then I'm going to cover everything, not everything, but the things that I'm concerned about. I'm going to cover some stuff, and we're going to pray and see what happens. But if you have any tips, or if you have survived that, or if you have anything at all for a tunnel, please drop it in the comments and let me know. So we've taken a look at everything, and everything seems to be doing a-okay. We are subject to the weather, as always, as gardeners. And one of those things you have to kind of, I know for me, I have to release control mentally, because once you've done all that you can do, that's all you can do. If you've put, you've watered it, you've fertilized it, you've tried to cover it and all that, then after that, you can't control the weather. Only God can control the weather, and only God can control the outcome. So I'm going to try to do my part. And if you guys have suggestions, I will take those. And then after that, we're going to pray and hope that all the stuff is okay. We will harvest what we can before, all of it hits, and then we'll just kind of go from there. But that's what's going on in my neck of the woods this week, and kind of what I'm preparing for as this, you know, wintry winter weather kind of comes in, like these low temperatures. They had said at one time that we might get snow, but I think that's off the table. At least I haven't heard it in the last couple of days. So we'll see. Snow I can take. 8 degrees, 4 degrees, that's cold. That is cold. Well, let me go get the hose pipe hooked up and get the fertilizer solution going to fertilize and water, and then we'll be on our way. Okay, y'all, so I watered, fertilized. I showed you some of it, didn't show you all of it. Hubby came down here and he mulched those last plants that I was showing you that I said I needed to mulch that looked really dry, and the last collard greens that I planted that I had put in the ground but I didn't put any wood chips around. He came down here and did that for me. So I was running my mouth talking to him. But you can see me like shivering. It has gotten cold just like that. It's now 55 degrees in the tunnel. So I'm about to say goodbye, sayonara. It went from 85 to 55. Now, it's just because, and it's only like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but the sun was like literally on top of the high tunnel when I first came in, and now the sun is gone and the temperature dropped just like that. So I'm freezing. I'm about to go back in the house. I'm glad that I came out here when I did, got the stuff done that I need to get done for today. I'll fertilize more tomorrow. I need to look at the temperature and make sure, but we'll be back in the tunnel probably later this week, harvesting some stuff and getting ready for the frigid temperatures. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope that your gardens are doing well. If you're planting gardens this fall, let me know how the weather is in your area. And if you're not planting a garden this fall, I hope you're already planning for the spring and the summer. If you didn't catch my video that I did last week talking about seeds and taking inventory of what you have, make sure you go take a look at that. I'm trying to help you save some money so that you don't buy everything in the catalogs like I want to do. So take a look at that video. I'll also pop a couple of videos up here that you can watch between now and my next upload. It's cold, y'all. It's all a journey. Being cold is part of it. I'm out, and let's grow together. See you soon.